How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the CGO36 by Aosenma, also called the Shadow Pro. It is a foldable 5G Wi-Fi FPV, remote tilt adjustable camera, brushless motor, optical flow sensor, GPS RC quadcopter ready to fly. So taking a closer look, it has foldable arms, but they are in the staggered formation. The front motors are a lot higher than the rear motors because of the staggered arms. Now, it will lock into position, so it is not spring-loaded on this one. So we also have the foldable props with the center hub and also a base. We got the brushless motors, and we have the landing legs in the front arms, and a couple of rubber pads towards the rear of the body. And also the rear arms are low enough that they will help in sticking that landing. The battery is on the top of the quadcopter, and by squeezing the two buttons, one on each side, together, it can be removed. The battery is a 11.1 volt 3-cell battery, a 2,500 milliamp lithium ion battery to be exact. It is supposed to be good for about 30 minutes of flight time. Now, with a short press of the power push button on and off switch, you can check the battery level that is remaining on the battery. You can charge it up via the micro USB port on the side of the battery. Now, to put it back, match up the connectors with the connectors on the quadcopter. It only goes in one direction, and push it in and it will click into place. Now, to power on the quadcopter, a short press followed by a long press will power on the quadcopter, and a long press will power off the quadcopter. And now a long press will power off the quadcopter. In the front, we have a couple of super bright LED lights looking like eyes and the 5G Wi-Fi FPV camera. Now, the camera can be remotely tilted from 0 to 90 degrees. Now, it does not have a mechanical gimbal or an electronic image stabilization built in, and it also does not have soft mounting, so I do not expect to see smooth videos, but we shall find out. It will record photos and videos to the micro SD card, and the micro SD card slot is located on the side of the quadcopter. It will record 1080p videos and 1080p photos. Now, it will also record to the Wi-Fi phone app and thus into the camera roll of the device used. The video in this case will be 720p and the photo will be in 4K. On the bottom of the quadcopter, there is an LED light and an optical flow sensor camera to help in horizontal positioning when the GPS is turned off. Now, there is also a little screw here, and when it is removed, the whole camera module can be removed. Now, I'm not sure why it is able to be removed, but perhaps the camera module itself can be upgraded. Now, interestingly, there is an IPX antenna connecting what looks to be the Wi-Fi board inside of the module, and the antenna runs into the body of the quadcopter towards the rear. It is also showing a tip of another antenna on the bottom as well, so I'm not sure why there are two antennas on the camera module, but definitely one of them is for the Wi-Fi. Now, there are status LED lights on the front arms and on the bottom of the rear arms, and also one in the rear of the quadcopter. Now, the build quality of this quadcopter is solid, and it has a hefty feel to the quadcopter once the battery is inserted. Now, the quadcopter will weigh in at 462 grams, so it will need to have the FAA registration number affixed to the quadcopter. The gimbals on the remote control does feel nice and smooth, and the remote controller does have fold out antennas, but they are just for looks and they do not have any wires running up the antenna. However, it is said to have a cool 1,500 meter in control distance. It has flip out hand grips that doubles as the phone holder as well, and it will hold my iPhone 6 Plus with a case and a slightly bigger phone than that. There is a rotary dial on the left shoulder which has no function, and a photo video button. A short press will take photo and a long press will take a video. There is a micro USB port for charging up the built-in battery and the power push button on and off switch. On the right shoulder is another rotary dial, and it will remotely adjust the tilt angle of the camera from 0 to 90 degrees. There's also another dual functioning button. Two short presses will turn on and off the super bright headlights of the quadcopter, and a long press will get you in and out of the headless mode. There's the LCD display screen in the front, and we have the return to home button, short press to return to home, and 3 short presses on it will initiate the compass calibration. There's the 1 key to take off button with 3 short presses, a physical point of interest button with a short press, 2 short presses for gyro calibration on this button as well. There's also the speed changing button. A short press will change speeds from 1, 2, and 3, and a long press will turn the GPS on and off even while the quadcopter is in the air. So both sticks to the bottom and out will arm the motors of the quadcopter. Both sticks to the bottom and in will disarm the motors of the quadcopter. Alright guys, so here we go with the test flight of the Aosenma's CGO36, the Shadow Pro. The battery is fully charged, got a 32 gigabyte micro SD card inserted, so it is ready to go. So let's power it on. A short press and then a long press will power it on. Okay, the ESCs have sung their song, so let's power on the remote. And automatic bind. So you need to do a compass calibration every time you fly one of these GPS quadcopters. And on this one, you can hit the return to home button 3 times, and that will initiate the compass calibration. And you need to hit the circle me button twice to calibrate the gyros. But we can also do it with the phone app as well, and it is a little easier to do it with the phone app. And I'm going to be using my iPad, so let's go ahead and power the iPad on here and go into the settings and connect with the VSGPS Wi-Fi network. And here's the phone app. It is called the Aosenma UAV Pro app, free downloadable app in the App Store, so check it out. And here is the interface, so let's screen record. Oh, look at that. I think it just acquired all of the necessary GPS. Yeah, I got 8 GPS satellites, so screen is recording as well. Let's get into the interface. And it says GPS signal is normal. Turn off the novice mode. Okay, so what you want to do is go into the settings and turn off beginner mode. So you are not limited to a certain distance, and the maximum distance I can set it to is 1,500 meters, and you are modifying the maximum. You agree, and the altitude is up to 500 meters. We're not going to go that high, but I'll just set it to the maximum. And the default return altitude, the lowest I can set it to is 20 meters. So you want to go ahead and hit the X, reset flight parameters, and you hit OK, and we are good to go. Hit the settings once again, and you want to calibrate the gyro. So hit the gyro calibration.
Please do gyroscope.
Okay, gyroscope has been calibrated automatically, just like that. And you want to calibrate the compass. So hit the calibrate the compass.
Please compass calibration.
Okay, so on this quadcopter, all you got to do is horizontal rotation. So let's go ahead and rotate it. Okay, here's the beep, and you are done calibrating the compass. So you don't need to do the vertical calibration. Okay, flying speed, that is when you use the phone app to fly this thing. You can fly this thing with the phone app as well. And flight record, I have no flight record, and everything is set. So let's go ahead and get out. So we are ready to go. So let's check out the Wi-Fi FPV here. Oh, it looks pretty nice. Very nice. Little bit of a delay, but let's go ahead and take a photo. There you go. There you go. Let's see if we can take a photo with the hard remote. There you go. We can take photos with the hard remote as well. So let's go and make our rounds. And let's see right here. There we go. Okay, did it take a photo? There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the video icon, and it is starting to take a video. Nice. I believe that was it on the phone app. So let's go ahead and leave the iPad right here. I'll come back to it. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. So everything is ready to go. Compass has been calibrated and gyro has been calibrated. So both sticks to the bottom and out will arm the motors, and both sticks to the bottom and in disarms the motors. We also have the 1 key to take off and 1 key to land. So if we hit it 3 times, it'll take off. Okay, circle me is just 1 press, and speed changing button 1, 2, and 3. Long press to turn GPS off and on. And photo and video, this one is nothing here. Just refreshing my memory here. Camera tilt, we got the light on and off switch. 2 presses will turn on and off the light. Long press will take you into the headless mode. All right, so let's see if it takes off by just hitting the 1 key to take off and land button. But before I do that, I forgot to put my landing pad, so I'm going to go grab my landing pad real quick. Okay, so we got the landing pad, so let's go ahead and take off. Oop, 3 times. There we go, automatic takeoff. And we are in GPS mode, mode 1, as well as it says GPS on. So let's go ahead and check out the position hold here. Looks like it's pretty steady, going down in altitude just a little bit and going up in altitude just a little bit, but it is holding position. So let's grab it and let go. And check it out. Very nice. Goes right back to its position hold spot. All right. Okay. We should be in speed number 1. So let's double check on that. Yeah. speed number 1. Okay, let's take a look here and check out the headlights. I'm facing the sun, so let me move on to this side and check out the headlights. So you can press it twice and turn the headlights off. There you go, headlights off, headlights on. And let's see the bottom LED light. There you go. Okay, so you can turn on and off the headlight, and the bottom light turns on and off at the same time. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, pretty nice. All right, let's see the camera tilt since we're at it. So there we go, we got the quadcopter facing us. Let me rise it up in altitude here, and then okay, let me hold it down and see what happens. Okay, it's not a smooth tilting action. It goes up and down a little bit at a time. Okay, there we go. So let's check out the speed here. So here we go. Full pitch and full yaw on speed number 1. That is not bad. Nice and smooth. So if you're going to take videos, you want to be in speed number 1. Oh, nice plateau. Look at that. Nice and smooth. Oh yeah, pretty nice. Hopefully we got some good videos. Now remember, this thing does not have a gimbal or EIS. So let's go up in speed here. Speed number 2, full pitch and full yaw. Okay, got a little faster. And it plateaus off, but not as smooth as speed number 1, but it's, look at that, it plateaus off really nicely, smoothly. It's not jerky right after I let go of the yaw stick. Hey, not bad. Okay, speed number 3. Okay, full pitch, full yaw. A little jerky in the transition. A little bit more speed, a little bit more pitch. Okay, and that is the speed. Okay, so far it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, it looks very nice actually. Okay, let me bring it back here. Yeah, a little bit erratic in speed number 3, not as smooth in the transitions, but that's okay. Let's check out the headless mode. Okay, headless mode is on, and there we go. I'm pushing it out and pulling it back in while I'm in a full yaw spin, so headless mode works. And to the left and to the right. Nice. Headless mode works really nicely on this. So long pressing it again takes you out of the headless mode. All right. So far everything has been working just perfectly on this thing. Yeah, so if you want a smooth video, don't be flying in speed number 3 because it's a little bit more jerky when you let go of the sticks, but check it out. Letting go of the sticks, it will come to a nice little hover. Yeah, it is drifting a little bit. Okay, there you go, position hold. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out here. Speed number 3 seems to be very fast, so I'm going to go back down to speed number 1, and long pressing the speed button will take you in and out of GPS mode. So long pressing it, and now GPS is off. So as you can see, it's drifting away, but it does have the optical flow sensor. Even outdoors it does help out, but the optical flow sensor is mainly for indoors. So there you go. If you want to fly nice and smooth, and even if you let go, it will still move and traverse. But look at that, optical flow sensor kind of held it back, I think. There you go, holding position with the optical flow sensor. But if you want to get rid of the optical flow sensor, you go up in altitude a little bit more, so the optical flow sensor cannot help you out. So you kind of disable it, so you let go and it's still working. I guess I gotta go higher in altitude. So optical flow sensor works pretty good on this thing. So there you go, it is slowly drifting. Alright, so let me get out of the non-GPS mode, and we are in GPS mode. So let's go ahead and land this quadcopter so we can check out the return home. So short pressing it 3 times. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, there you go, automatic 1 key to land. Pressing 3 times though. So you have to remember, you need to press it 3 times, and there you go. It doesn't hover or anything, it just comes straight down. So let's place it right in the middle of the landing pad. And let me make sure I got Wi-Fi FPV here. No, I don't. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop the video. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn it off and recalibrate and all that, so I got Wi-Fi FPV as well. Alright guys, so here we go. The quadcopter was turned off and then turned back on, and compass calibration and gyro calibration has been redone. So we have Wi-Fi FPV. So let's arm the motors once again, and I'm going to manually take off this time. And there you go. Now I'm going to go to speed number 2, and we're going to push it out. So I've landed and retook off on the landing pad, so that is our new home point. So wherever you retake off and arm the motors, that will become the new home point. And when you do the return home, it will come back and land here, because I took off from the table the first time around. So let's go ahead and hit the return home. It is a long press for return home, and it is coming back. Took a couple of seconds before it realized it was supposed to come back home, and it made a beeline back to where it took off from, and it is slowly coming down, and it will miss the landing pad by a few quadcopter distance. That is still very nice. Alright, so let's put it back here and rearm the motors and take off once again manually, and let's check out the fail-safe return home. Okay, letting go, and it comes to a hover. Very nice. So let's turn off the remote control and see what happens. Okay, remote control has been turned off. So does it have fail-safe return home? Okay, it doesn't look like it's gonna do anything, and it is not coming back home. So maybe this is one of those quadcopters where the return home, the fail-safe return home, does not work while the Wi-Fi phone app is still connected, because you can fly this thing with the Wi-Fi phone app. So let me go into the settings, and I'm going to go 50%. Okay, here we go. It's not coming back, guys. So controller of the smartphone, I'm going to turn it on, and there you go. I got virtual sticks, and I have control of the quadcopter. But it is not that. It's in Japan mode. Let's go to American mode and pitching forward. There you go. So you can fly this thing with the Wi-Fi phone app. So the Wi-Fi phone connection is good for 1,000 meters, but the remote control is good for 1,500 meters. So in a real life situation, supposedly the Wi-Fi will disconnect before you disconnect with the remote. So it will do a fail-safe, but for our purposes, I have the Wi-Fi phone app turned on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go ahead and kill the Wi-Fi phone app, all right? So let's see what happens. I'm gonna stop the video recording, and then I'm gonna kill the Wi-Fi phone app. So nothing is connected. So let's see what happens now. Will it come home? Yes, it will. So you need both items to be disconnected, the Wi-Fi connection as well as the hard remote, and it will come home. So that is unfortunate. It should work even with the Wi-Fi phone app turned on, because it does have Wi-Fi FPV, and that is one of the main perks about having Wi-Fi FPV. So I do not have my phone turned on or the app turned on, but I'm gonna turn the remote control back on, and hopefully we get reconnected here. And let's see, there we go. We are reconnected. So let's go ahead and check out the fail-safe by turning off the remote. There you go. Now the Wi-Fi is off, so the app is not connected, so it should fail safe. And there you go. Took about good 7 or 8 seconds, and it is coming home. Okay, it didn't go up to that 20 meter in height that I designated it. It just came home straight. Okay, so there you go. Return to home and fail safe return to home. Okay, let me go ahead and turn it back on, and I'm going to reconnect with turn off the virtual sticks. And we got Wi-Fi FPV, and hitting the record button once again. All right, so let's leave it right here and arm it and take off one more time. All right, so everything is working pretty good on this quadcopter, and it is a nice flyer too. Look at that, it just plateaus off like after I make the turn and let go. It's a nice smooth transition. So let's see what we need to check out here. Basically checked out everything here. So let's see if the Circle Me works. So you want to place your quadcopter right above the point of interest and hit this button over here. I guess you gotta long press it. Okay. Oh, it just flies right off, turns around, and it starts to do a Circle Me. Oh wow, really fast. Let me see if I can back up. By pushing it, you can back up and increase the radius of the Circle Me. There you go. Nice and smooth. Circling around. Can I yaw? No, I cannot yaw. Can I go up in altitude? Go down in altitude? Yep. No problem with that. Can I go faster? Or the opposite way? Oh, it is starting to beep. I think that exited the Circle Me. So now we are in low voltage, guys. This beep means we are in low voltage, and we are within 20 meters or 30 meters of its geofencing. So it did not do anything. So let's see, if you were away beyond 20 or 30 meters, it will come back and return within that 20 to 30 meter geofencing. Let me speed it up a little bit. There you go, that's the geofencing, and it bounces off and it's holding its position. Okay, so perhaps the low voltage kind of exited me from the circle me function as well. Maybe it wasn't the pitch stick. So let's try and figure that out. So let me go ahead and bring it in right above where I am, just about, and then hit the circle me button. See, it does not work. Yeah, circle me does not work when it is in low voltage. So I think that's what exited me out of the circle me feature. It was the low voltage. So you are not able to go beyond 20 to 30 meters with this quadcopter once it is in the first initial phase of the low voltage. As you can see, it bounces off. All right, so let's find out how long. I'm gonna go to speed number 1. Let's find out how long this low voltage is just by, okay, it's telling me bring it back because low voltage. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can do some FPV within the geofencing. Okay, it's just telling me that the low battery, you should bring it in. There you go. Oop. It kind of spin out of control there for a little bit. Oh, look at that though. It plateaus off really nice. Okay, turning, letting go. Nice and smooth actually. I don't see any real bumpy action of the quadcopter. And hopefully we don't have any jello. I don't see any jello on the iPad. Maybe a little bit of vibration. And if this thing had a little vibration mount, that would have helped out as well. See, look at how smooth it transitions. It is kind of annoying to have this beep going on as well. But it is just reminding you that you are in low voltage. Okay, it's just telling me to fly back immediately. There was a little stutter there. And another little stutter. Okay, geofencing. Okay, coming towards me. So it's nice and smooth. Okay, so can I take a photo while I'm flying? With video turned on? I don't think so. Yeah, nice and smooth. And this low voltage phase is pretty long. But this is a nice flyer, guys. Nice and smooth turns. Speed number 1. And look at that transition. It's very nice. Nice and smooth. So man, if this thing had like electronic image stabilization or something, it would take some nice videos. Looks like the app is showing me that I have 0 battery, but it is still flying. So I'm not sure what it does when it hits the second phase of low voltage. Does it just land or does it return home? So we shall find out. Yep, camera tilts. Nice and smooth. And this is a very long low voltage phase between 1 and 2. But it is a safety feature just in case you are flying further away, that it has enough battery power left to come back home. You don't want to be landing somewhere while it is coming back. So once it goes into the first phase, you should bring it back in, or it'll automatically bring you back in. Though I wish there was some kind of a parameter that you could adjust and set the timing when the first phase comes in at a certain percentage of the battery. So depending on how you are flying, you can still fly around beyond the geofencing in the, well, before you hit the first phase of low voltage, or make it so that you can adjust the geofencing parameters, one or the other, because I'm kind of stuck here within the geofencing and I can't go beyond it, and none of the features work. And this is a pretty long phase here, from first phase to the second phase. So it seems like we got pretty decent battery life, but the only downside to that is you are stuck in the first phase of low voltage for quite a while. But it does take nice smooth videos for a quadcopter that doesn't even have anti-jello mounting. Oh, that it overshot it. I let go of the yaw stick, but it overshot it. Not this time though. Look at that. Nice and smooth. It just plateaus off. Very nice. There you go. Oh, here we go. Second phase. Faster beeps, and it does come back home. Nice. So it is going to land, but I think it's going to miss the landing pad. We'll see where it lands. Alright. And it slowly descends. And that is pretty close to the landing pad, I think. Alright, there you go, guys. The Aosenma's CGO36, the Shadow Pro. That will conclude this video and demonstration. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.